Hello, my friends. In this course, I will teach you how to create a Duolingo-like interface using vanilla JavaScript. As you can see here, it is a clone of the Duolingo interface. Here we have the progress bar. Here we have the place where a student can listen
Tu parles japonais?
The entire sentence or to listen
Tu
by
parles japonais.
Tu hovering onto the word
Tu
like that.
parles japonais. Parle. Tu.
And here he can or she can click on the word, and when he clicks the word, for example, tu parles japonais, it is a question. Do you speak Japanese? Right? Then he can click the check button like that. And as we can see, there is a green plate that pops up. Here we can see the great job title and continue button. He can continue. The next lesson comes and he also can click a word. For example, he comes from Australia like that. We can see that progress bar moves forward if it is correct, and here it's I am Canadian. Of course, in the real Duolingo app, these words are randomly generated, and for example, apart from actual words from the sentence, there are also various other words, and yeah, you can implement this if you want to. I will leave it as it is, and here we see that keyboard, use keyboard button. In this section, in this implementation, it doesn't work, but I think that we will implement it together in this course. So let's get started, and I will create a folder, Duolingo interface, like that. Then I will go to this folder, open git bash, and open this folder in my VS Code. Next, we can create index HTML file, and we can create script.js. In this file, we will have the logic of the program. Let's just create template. I pressed Shift and exclamation sign, and after that it gives you the template. Next, we will need to connect the script file, and yep, like that. After that, we need to add style CSS file, and we also need to link it to HTML like that. Then let's use the live server. If you don't have live server extension installed, you can search for live server and install this extension. When you install this extension, you will have live server that will launch the local host like that. Currently our HTML is empty, but we can check if we have linked script and style CSS file correctly. So let's write alert, and yeah, if you see this alert pop up, it means that you have successfully linked script to HTML. And the same thing, we can add something into our CSS and check. Yes, as we can see, we have linked our CSS successfully too. The next, let's just reset margin padding, margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing, border box, like that. We will also need to use Roboto font here. So let's import Roboto font and let's write font family Roboto, like that. Next, let's go to our HTML and let's do some styling to our app. Here we will have, inside body, we will have div that will have class container. Inside div we will have div with the class header, and we also have div with the class progress bar container, like that. And inside of this div we will have the div with the class close button, like that. And inside of here we will have the image. Okay, let me just download some images. Okay, I have added an assets folder with these icons. For example, this is the close icon, and this is keyboard icon, like that. And next we will need to style to add this image to our HTML file. It is image that has alternative as close button, and it has the source assets close, just like that. And if we see our page, we have our icon there. Next, after the close button, we will have, right after here, we will have the progress bar. Progress bar like that. And inside of progress bar, we have the progress like this. After that, we will have the board itself. Let me just below the header we will have the board, and it will have the class board. Keep in mind that it is right after the header div, and inside of this board we will have h1, write this in English like that. This h1 will have the container board header. Right below, after h1, we need to write the div with the class target lang container, like this. And we will also have the image img, woman, and source assets. In this case it will be Lara woman, like this. After this woman, we will have div with the class speech bubble, and inside of speech bubble we will have another div with the class sent container. Next, we will need to add another image. In this case, it will have the ID speaker, and source will be assets speaker, like this. Below the image we will have the span. Let's write just parlay, another span with dash, another span with 2, and another span with the class space. Next we will write another span français, and the last span will be the question mark, like that. And below and after this we will have another div with the class of answer field, like that. And after answer field we will have another div with the class random words field, like this. So this is the board part, and below the board part there will be a footer part. So let's create div that will have the class footer, and inside of footer class we will have another class with the class footer items container, like this. Oops, it should be here, like that. And inside footer items container we will have another div with the class item left, and inside of item left we will have the button skip, like that. Next we will have another item div. It will be empty, and after that we will have another div with the class item space center, and inside of this div we will have an image. It will be keyboard, and it will be source of assets keyboard. And below this we will have a span use keyboard, like this. Next, below this div we will have another div with the class item. It will be empty, and the last div with the class item right, and inside of this div we will have the button will be checked, like that, and it will have the class check button, like that. So next, inside the footer and just below this div we will have another div with the class win footer, like that. And this win footer will have a div with the class win items container, like this. And inside of it will be not win items container, you will footer footer items container, like that. Inside of footer items container, there will be div with the class item left, and inside item left we will have a div with the class sign container, and inside sign container we will have an image with the icon check. So we don't have this icon, but we will have this path in fact, so please use this path instead. Just below this div we will have the div with the class desk container, and inside of desk container we will have span. Great job. And let's give it a class motivational word, and below this span we will have report and class report, like that. After this div, after item left, we will have another div with the class item, and another div with the class item sender. Then we will have another div with just item class, and another div with item right, like that. Inside of item right we will have a button with continue, and the class will be continue button. So let's take a look what we have so far. And so far we have just unstyled HTML that looks terrible, but we will fix it very soon. Next, here after button, after 1, 2, 3, right here we need to write a div which will have the class loose footer, and inside of loose footer we'll have another div with the class footer items container, like that. And inside of footer items container we'll have another div with the class item left, and inside of item left we'll have another div with the class sign container, and here it will have an image with the following path. Next, here we'll have the div with the class desk container, and we'll have span and correct solution. This span will have the class motivational word, and then below it will have this span report, like that. And here we need to write the div with the class item center, and another item and item right. Inside of item right, we will need to write another button with the class continue button fail, like this, and write continue, like that. So take a look. Let's take a look what we have so far. And so far we have very nasty interface that we will need to fix. Let's remove this alert. And before we continue with styling, let's add this file. It will be called data.js, like that. So let's take a look at this data. In this data we have several objects. In fact, we have 3 objects, and each object has the following properties. It has the picture property, phrase in French, phrase in English. Then it has phrase by word, basically the word in French and translation. For example, tu has the translation of you, parler has translation of you speak, you're speaking, you're talking, and japonais has the translation Japanese. And it has highlighted true property as well. So some have and some don't have. We also need to link this file with our HTML. Let's add another script with the source of data.js, like that. Next, I think that we can continue with styling. And after styling, we will move on to writing logic. Let's add container class. It will be display flex. It will have flex direction column, justify content space between, and height of 100 VH and width of 100 VW. So far we don't see a lot of changes. Let's check if we have our container class correctly spelled out. Yes, it's correctly spelled out. Oh yeah, let's just add background color to, yes, as we can see, it works. We can comment it out so far. And let's add another class header. This class has display flex properties. it has justify content, center, and align items center. It will have the width of 100% and height will be 100 pixels, like that. And below the header we will have progress bar. Progress bar will have position relative. Width will be 958 pixels and height will be 100%. It will have the background color of E5, 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 and overflow will be hidden, and border radius will be 10 pixels, like that. Next, let's write the progress. The progress will have position absolute, and top will be 0, left will be 0, the height will be 100%, and width will be 0% initially. Background color will be 58 CC02, like this, and border radius will have 16 pixels, and transition will be 0.6 seconds. Next, let's add close button. Close button will have cursor pointer. It will have the width of 18 pixels and height will be 18 pixels. We also need to target close button img that will have width of 100%, like that. Okay, let's take a look what we have, and it doesn't look like we have something here. Let's just add 20% of progress, and we see that no, it doesn't work. Let's see, maybe we will have the wrong class. Progress bar container. Oh yeah, sure. After header we need to add progress bar container, like that. It will be display flex. It will be align item center, justify content space between, and width will be 100 pixels, and the height will be 18 pixels, like that. Yeah, sure. Now we have our progress bar. Well, we can add some margin to the top, to the progress bar container, because we need some space here. I think we can add even more space here. Okay, nice. Let's remove width here, and as you can see, when we add some width, it beautifully animates like that. Great. Let's go to the board section. Board section will have the following properties: display flex, flex direction column, margin 1200 pixels auto, and width 600 pixels and height 450 pixels. Okay, next, board header. Font size will be 32 pixels. Line height will be 40 pixels. Font weight will be 700, and margin bottom will be 8 pixels, like that. Next, we will style target lang container. Display flex, align item center, height will be this value, and width will be 100%. Okay. Next, target language container. Target language container img will have height of 100%. Next class will be speech bubble, will be display flex, will be justified content center, and align item center, and position will be relative. Mean width will be 254 pixels, and mean height will be 67 pixels. Border radius 10 pixels, and border will be 3 pixels. E5, E5, E5. Solid. Speech bubble, let's check. Do we have speech bubble? Speech bubble. Okay. Next, let's go to speech bubble before. We'll have the following properties, like content, empty string, width will be 0 pixels, height will be 0 pixels, position absolute, and border left border left 10 pixels, solid transparent. Border right 10 pixels, solid. Border top 10 pixels, solid transparent, and border bottom 10 pixels, solid transparent. Top will be 25 pixels and left will be minus. Okay, we have here a little triangle, and we will also have the speech bubble after. It's pretty much similar. Let's just copy paste, and we need to change the left value to minus 17. Next, let's add send container, display flags, justify content center, align item center, mean width will be 200 pixels and height will be 39 pixels. Send container img will be cursor pointer, width will be 29 pixels and margin right will be 10 pixels. Okay, nice. Okay, great. Next we will style the space. Space will be margin right 4 pixels. Okay, next word item will be cursor pointer, font size 16 pixels and margin right 5 pixels, border none, background color transparent, outline none, border bottom will be 2 pixels, solid gray, and border style will be dashed, border top will be none, and border right will be none, and border left will be none as well, and padding bottom will be 5 pixels, like that. Word item. So we don't have styling for word item. Let's see. Word item. Okay, let's add this word item. Okay, next we need to continue with our style, and next we need to add the highlighted class, like that. The color will be orange, border bottom will be 2 pixels, solid orange, border style will be dashed, and border top will be none, border right and border left will be none as well. Okay. Next, yeah, for example, if we add here, for example, highlighted, it will be highlighted. Next, let's go to answer field. Answer field will have 100% width, mean height will be 72 pixels, and border top will be 2 pixels solid, border bottom will be 2 pixels solid, the same color, and padding will be 5 pixels. Next, let's add random words field. Will be display flex. Justify content will be center. Align items will be centered. Flex wrap. Width will be 100%, and mean height will be 52 pixels, and padding will be 20 pixels, like that. Next, let's add a word class, which will have cursor pointer, padding 10 pixels, height will be 100%, width will be 100% as well, border radius, the radius 15 pixels, and background color white. Outline will be none. Font size will be 16 pixels, and border will be none as well. Okay, we don't have any words so far because we will generate these words programmatically, and they appear when we get to the logic part. Next, let's add a keyframe. It will be animation. Keyframes appear from opacity 0 and to opacity 1. Let's add the added class. The class added will have the following properties: cursor pointer, padding 10 pixels, margin right will be 15 pixels, border radius will have 15 pixels, background color white, and border will be 2 pixels, solid RGBA 0 0 0 and 0.2, like that. Next, placeholder will have the following properties: display flex, justify content center, align items center, border 2 pixels, solid, and cursor pointer, margin right will be 5 pixels, border radius will be 15 pixels, margin bottom will be 5 pixels, and background color will be RGBA 0 0 0 0.2, outline will be none, and font size will be 16 pixels, like that. And word answer will be border 2 pixels, solid E5 E5 E5, cursor pointer, and padding will be 10 pixels, margin right will be 5 pixels, border radius will be 15 pixels, and margin bottom will be 5 pixels, background color will be transparent, outline none, and font size will be 16 pixels. And the last, we need to add the footer section. Display flex, justify content center, border top will be 2 pixels, solid, width 100%, and height will be 140 pixels, like that. Now let's add win footer. It means that this footer will appear when the correct answer will be correct. Display flex, justify content center, border top 2 pixels, solid, width will be 100%, and height will be 140 pixels, and background color will be B8 F2 8B. Next, let's add all these classes it's very long classes here. I will just paste it here and display flex and flex direction column like that. And the same thing for all these classes. Win footer, footer items container, item motivation word, loose footer, footer items container. Oh yeah, why? I think they just duplicated. And font size will be 20 pixels. Color will be 8A 700 like that. And font weight will be bold. And let's add this class as well. In this class we will have margin top 10 pixels. Color will be five 8A 700. Opacity 0.8 and font size will be 15 pixels. Font weight will be 700 and letter spacing will be 0.8 pixels. And text transform will be uppercase like that. Let's see what we have so far. Next we need to add desk container display flex, flex direction column, width will be auto, height will be auto, and padding will be 3 pixels. Sign container will have width 60 pixels, height 60 pixels, and margin right will be 10 pixels. Signed container img width 100%. Okay, next let's add loose footer. Will be display flex, justify content center, and border radius will be border top will be 2 pixels, solid E5 width will be 100%, height will be 140 pixels, and background color will be FFC1. Okay, next footer items container. Footer items container will be display grid, grid template columns 1 FR 1 fr, 1 fr, 1 fr. Width will be 1000 pixels, and height will be 100%. Okay, next, footer items container item display flex cursor pointer and justify content center and align item center. Next, footer items container item left justify self flex start, and the same, but here we will write right display flex and justify self flex. Next, we need to write footer items container item center span border none and padding 0, margin left 10 pixels, and transform uppercase. Sorry, there should be text transform uppercase. Next, we need to add item button position relative and border 2 pixels solid E5 E5 E5. Border radius will be 16 pixels and font weight will be 700 and font size will be 19 pixels. Color will be 9D. Padding 10 pixels and 40 pixels, and text transform will be uppercase and cursor will be pointer and outline will be none. Okay, and the last thing, we need to add footer items container item and motivational word color 58,700 and font size will be 24 pixels. Next, enable check button will be position relative. Background color will be 588 cc 02. color will be white, important, and border will be one pixel solid, 61 B800. Also will be important, and border bottom will be 4 pixels solid, 61 B800, and also important, and overflow will be hidden. So let's take a look what we have. Now we have two states with success and fail, and we also need to style this one, right? Let's add this class, and it will have the following properties: position relative, background color will be 58 CC02, color will be white, important, and border will be 1 pixel solid, 61 B800. Also important, and border bottom will be 4 pixels solid, and overflow will be hidden as well. And the last section, disabled check button class will have background color E5, 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 like this. Okay, now I think keyboard class item center. Okay, I think that it will be fixed when we start writing actual code. So let's get started with our code. First of all, we need to write window, add event listener, load function, like that. So this function, as we can see here, appends an event listener or event whose type is attribute value. The callback argument sets the callback that will be invoked when the event is dispatched. In our case, we listen for the load event on the window object, which is fired when the entire web page has fully loaded, including all dependent resources such as images and style sheet as well. Now let's write the following selectors. Here we targeted our avatar img, which is board header. Oh yeah, we need to add class here. Let's add class avatar img like that. Next, let's target send container. Document query selector send container. Let's add speaker element, document create element img. Const random words field, document query selector random words field like that. So we basically target these classes. For example, here we target random words field. Here. Next, answer field equals document query selector answer field, const footer equals document query selector footer, and const continue button equals document query selector continue button, and const continue button fail, like that. Let's also target progress and win footer, and win footer by default will be win footer style display equals none. So initially it will not be shown, right? And loose footer display style display will be none as well, right? Okay, now we have keyboard and we have skip and skip and check should be on opposite sides, right? We need to fix it, but we will fix it later, a little bit later. Next, we need to target check button, and check button will be disabled initially. Okay, so check button is disabled initially. Yeah, As we can see, it is disabled. Well, why don't we have check and skip buttons on opposite sides? Why they're on the one side? We need to fix it. Item right, footer, items container, item right, and footer, skip and check. Footer, items container, item left. Okay, I have fixed this issue, and I will provide the correct version of the CSS in the description, so you don't have to rewrite or debug it yourself. Let's continue with script.js. We have disabled check button, and we need to check if check button is disabled. Then we need to add the special class, which is disabled check button, like that. So now it's disabled. Next, we need target speaker element and add attribute ID with speaker. So basically our speaker element will have the ID speaker, right? And this speaker source will be assets speaker SVG. Now here we can comment it like that. For example, no, let's take a look. Okay, so ideally it should work, but it doesn't work somehow. It doesn't show. Let's see if we even have this speaker element created. Nope. We get an error by trying to access the speaker SVG. Oh, console log speaker element. Okay, we get this element. Oh, of course we haven't actually added speaker element to the DOM, right? So of course we will deal with it later. Sure. Now next, let's write TTS speech synthesis, and we will add the following variables as well: increment, random words, array, answer field array DOM and answer field words array, and I will explain to you later. And answer array progress start will be 0, progress range will be 100, data length and const width height array will be empty array, index will be 0, sound will be null. Next we will need to create a special function which will create random words in our board. So data map will be object and phrase split. We will map through the object and we will split the English word by word. So here we will have an array of words, right? Then we will need to return random words array push splitted string. So basically, if we call this function, we will see that we have pushed some words here. So as you can see, we have an array with all the words, right, in English. Do you speak Japanese? He comes from Australia. I am Canadian. So basically we have splitted all the words and put them into one array, and now we need to shuffle these words. So we can write function shuffle, which will take in the array, and we will have current index equals array length. Then we will have temporary value and random index. Now we need to use while. Random index equals math.floor math random times current index. And current index minus equals 1, and I will explain to you how it works after we write the function. Temporary value equals array current index, array current index equals array random index and array random index equals to temporary value, like that. And after that we should return array. So let's take a look how this shuffle function works. First of all, we initialize current index, which equals to the length of the array provided, temporary value, and random index. So then we have the loop. This loop will keep running until current index is 0. The idea here is to iterate backwards, not from the start but from the end. We iterate through the array from the last element to the first. Next, here we are choosing the random index from the remaining of the. So basically, for each iteration, a random index is selected from the remaining unshuffled elements. This math random method returns a random number between 0, including 0, and 1, exclusive 1. So it basically never gets 1. Then we multiply this by current index. This number ranges from 0 up to current index. And then we math floor, so we make sure that it is an integer. This is decrementing index. We decrement current index by 1 for each iteration. This literally reduces the portion of the array we're considering for shuffling with each loop. Then here we are swapping the element. It swaps the value at current index with the value at the random index. And the temporary index is used as an intermediary storage so that we don't lose the value at the current index when we override it. And after that we just return the array. Next, when we have our shuffling done, when we run our shuffle, we need to use it, right? And we can use it in here. Yeah, we can use it here. Shuffle. It shuffles the random words array. Then we map through each word through random word. And we create a div. We create a div, or we can use button. And parent button class name, we add class name, placeholder. And we also add ID index. So let's just take a look how we shuffle these words. Shuffle random words array. Let's take a look what we have. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, he speak, I, Australia, Canada, am, you, Japanese, and so on. So it basically works. Now we created the parent button, then we should next we need to add this button to random words field. We add this parent button. After that, we create button element, document create element button, like that. We add text element, text content to this button. This text is the word, the actual string. We also need to add class name. The class name is word. And we also need to add ID, add the index, and we also need to, we basically need to access current placeholder, document get element by ID, add index. Remember that we assign the index for each button element, then we access this element, then we current plus placeholder, we append child button element, we add each word to the placeholder, and after that we need to set height and width of the parent element equal to child element. For this we need to write child height equals button element offset height equals this const child width equals button element offset width, like this. Then we need to parent button style height equals to child height plus px, and parent button style width equals to child width plus px, like that. And after that we need to use this width height array and add the index. We need to create this array of child height and child width, like that. And after that, what we need to do is to iterate through the random words array DOM. random words array DOM. So where is it? Okay, it should be random words array DOM. That is initially empty array, and we need to iterate through this random words array DOM for each, and we need to random words field append child word. So if we done, okay, now we have here generated words with fields, but something went wrong. Let's see. Oh, it has index 0 everywhere. It's not correct. Something went wrong. Oh, of course, because we didn't increment the index. Okay, now we have generated placeholder. I mean, not placeholder, but yeah, like words randomly shuffled words with its placeholder. Next, we need to implement the functionality when we click a word and it should appears right here. For this, we need to write several methods. First of all, let's use this answer field words array, and let's use array method from answer field children. And let's see what we have here. Answer field. And here we have, yeah, we don't have anything so far because we haven't added to the answer. And answer field words array map word add event listener click and removing element. So we need to write this removing element function, and also we need to write array from random words field children, and let child array map and child array for each push into answer. So we don't have these functions implemented yet, but let's take a look what we have here. Array. As you can see here, we have an array of buttons, array of every button, and here we map through this array and we get only one child array basically. So we get only we get a particular item. So in this then we for every child array we add to it push into answer method, which we are going to implement now. So let's write this method function push into answer. It will take event and we will get index of every button. So when we click, we get the index, and then we refer to answer field words array and we push target. We basically push into this array the word we click here, right? So we have pushed the word, and then we check if answer field words array length more than 0. It means if this array contains something, then we refer to check button disabled false. So our check button is not disabled anymore. We also add to check button a class. We basically remove disabled check button first, and then we add another class which is enabled check button, like that. After that, we need to append every word to answer field. Append child target, like that, and random words array index equals empty string. So basically when we add here, it is no longer, it doesn't have a word anymore, and this word comes here. Let's continue. And after that, we need to say target remove event listener. So we are removing from this element, we are removing push into answer event listener, and we also remove the class word, and we add class added, and then we style height. We add the special styling to this element, and then we add event listener on click. This event listener is removing element. So removing element. But we haven't yet implemented this removing element. So let's do that. Function removing element. We'll take e, so let index equals target e. Oh, sorry, id. We get id of this button. Then parent div is random words field children index, like that. And parent div append child target. So we add to this div, the word which we want to remove from here. Basically, we're returning this word back to its position. Then random words array index equals target value, and then answer field words array, pop, and we remove the word from the answer words field. Then we check if answer words field array length less or equals 0. If this is the case, then we check button disabled true, so it becomes disabled again. Check button class list add disabled check button, and we add this class and we remove the class enabled check button. Then again we can copy this part, and instead of push into removing element word add, we need to add class word and remove class added. Then here it should be -3, and here it should be -3, like that. And we need to add push into answer element. So for example, can you see, do you speak French? Parles-tu français? Do you speak French? Parles-tu français? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. It's just hard-coded. We will make it dynamic. Yeah, sure, of course. So it doesn't work so far, this part at least. So we have the functionality where we can add words and remove the words. And now what we need to do, we can write functionality where we can reset questions. Next, yeah, as I said, next we need to make it dynamic to generate dynamic sentences here. For this, we need to write a function. Let's call it create sentences. It will take an index, right? And yeah, we need to call this function, and we need to pass in increment. So by default the increment is 0. Where is that? Yeah, increment is 0 here. Now, yeah, we need to create questions. Let's call it questions, and we spread the data. We just make show a copy of the data. Now the avatar img source will be questions I. So it's not I, it's actual index. Now we have avatar image, which is hard-coded here, and I think we can try to comment it out, and yeah, it doesn't work actually. So let's see what we have. Avatar img, yeah, our img, I think, yeah, sure, it's just okay. Yeah, it's already working. It will just, override the image in the HTML. Now we need to append. Yeah, we need to append speaker. Now we have speaker, right? And this speaker, we will fix this speaker. Now we need to, for each question, phrase by word, map, let word element equals document create element button, like that, and word element inner HTML will be word. And after that, we need to set attribute class with the class word item. Okay, and if word is highlighted, then word element set attribute class should have the following class: word item highlighted, like that, and word element set attribute value the value will be word like that, and we then need to send container append child word element like that. Now we have, but you know what, we need to comment this out. So now we have completely dynamic display of the sentence, right? Next, after that, we need to write a function to check if it's correct or not. If we, for example, translated like, do you speak Japanese? Then we need to, oh yes, keep in mind, look how our check button is changing when we have something here. How cool is that, right? Next, we need to write a function, check answer, and in this function we will write a logic that we will responsible for basically checking correctness of our sentence. And we need to iterate through the answer field words array. We need to iterate with for each, and so let's say it is item, and we can get the value like that, and we will push it into answer array, right? There will be answer array which will contain which will contain all the words that go here. Then let answer string, we will convert this answer array into string, and after that we'll check if answer string equals data which comes from here, data with array of increment and its end phrase in English. If they're equal, then we need to create a sound with new audio, and the sound will have the following path. So this will be the sound, and we will play this sound. Then we will target progress start. Let's see if we have progress start. Yeah, we need to create the progress start. Oh, we have progress start, right? We have progress start that is initially 0, and we need to increment it plus progress range. Then footer style will be display none. So footer will disappear and when footer appears, when footer style display flex. Basically the default footer will disappear and when footer will appear. And progress style display or progress style width equals progress start plus %, like that. And otherwise we will assign another sound. It is failure sound. We will play this sound and footer style display none and lose footer style display flex. Oops. So let's check. For example, tu parles japonais, it means do you speak Japanese? Do you speak Japanese? And nothing works. Why? Because we need to assign or attach event listener to check button, check answer, like that. So let's check. Do you speak Japanese? Okay. Oh my goodness. It doesn't work. Do you speak Japanese? Why? Script 192. So we need, let's check. Let's console log answer string and this. Let's see what we get there. Do you speak Japanese? Okay. The problem is that we get only do you speak Japanese? Let's do like that. Do. Okay. Yeah. We get here we get something, but here we don't have anything in answer string. The problem may be here. Let's console log item. Do you speak Japanese? So basically we iterate through each button, but we don't extract value from it. It doesn't have value, right? It doesn't have value. What about text content? If we try text content, do you speak Japanese? Okay, good. It's correct, but script 187. Something doesn't work here. Footer. Oh, sure, it should be dot here. Should be dot here. Let's check. Do you speak Japanese? Okay, good. Now somehow our footer disappeared. Right? Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. Let's see. Do you speak Japanese? Win footer display flex. Do we have win footer here? Let's see. Yes, we have win footer. We have loose footer, but win footer doesn't appear. Yeah, by default it's none. I mean, when we load the page it is none. Then let's see. Let's see if we get something at all. Yes, yes, we get something. And it is none. That makes sense. And here we have our default footer. Then we hide win footer, and when we get it right, we display, we hide regular footer, and we should show the win footer. In fact, do something. What is that? And okay, the problem. What? The problem is that when we display initially footer and so the problem is that so let's check. I think that I have messed up and I need to move this win footer and loose footer outside here. Okay, good. Now it works. Yes, sure. You need, before we had like win footer and loose footer inside the footer, but they should be siblings, right? Next, we need to implement the functionality when we click the continue button and we should proceed to the next so-called exercise. Now for this we need to add a function, I guess. Yeah, let's write a function get new question that will take in index and we need to write questions, data, then our img c equals questions index picture, and we need to reset questions, and we need to iterate it's not iterate, it's create new sentences that takes into index. Then we need to document query selector all word item, and we need to iterate for each word item, and we need to add event listener mouse over speak target value and F for French, and we need to call this get new questions. Get new question, we need to call it here at index increment. Then what we need to do is to add the speak function. We will take the phrase and language, and we'd say to speak equals new scene, new speech synthesis, synthetic, no, synthesis utterance. Takes phrase and to speak lang equals lang, and tts speak, and then we need to, for every speaker element, we need to add event listener on click. So when we click the word, it should trigger this speak function. Data increment phrase. Okay, it doesn't work. Script 2010. Oh, sure, we need to provide, and speaker element is not function. Speaker element is not function. What? Oh, it's not speaker element, it's actual speak. Yeah, and word items. For word items we don't have anything. Yeah, for word items we don't have anything. Why? Query selector all word item. No, but it should have, right? It should have. Why is that question? How do you call it? Oh.
Parle. Tu. Parle. Japonais.
Ah, okay.
Parle. Japonais. 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 Parle. Tu. Tu. Parle. Japonais.
Okay, it works.
Tu parles japonais? Parle. Japonais.
It works, and let's do. Oh, you speak. And
Parle. Japonais. Parle. Tu. Parle. Japonais.
Tu parles japonais? Somehow we don't have question mark here. Strange. Very strange. Okay.
Japonais.
Now, next thing we need to do is, I guess we need to implement logic when we actually go to the next word. For example, do you speak Japanese? Right. We need to write continue, and it should forward us to the next question. So let's write this logic. Continue button, add event listener, and it should be click event. And here we need to increment by 1, then index should be 0, and we need to get new question increment, then we need to reset all this answer array, we need to answer field words array should be empty string, then answer field inner HTML should be empty string, then win footer style display should be none, so it should be hidden, then footer style display should appear, and check button class list add disabled check button and check button class list remove enable check button. Okay, and let's do you speak Japanese, and we go to the next question.
Australie.
Yep. Something wrong. Oh, I think this check button should be okay. Yeah, let's see. And this check button when we generate new question. Or when we create new sentence, we can check button disabled to make it disabled true again.
Japonais.
Okay, and it doesn't work, right? Until we add something. But somehow the style doesn't override, and we need to fix it. And the same logic is with continue button fail. So same logic with, for example, we failed, continue failed, continue button failed. Yeah, we need to add this logic. And here when we check, here we need to okay, yeah. So I think let's do again. Do you speak Japanese? And he comes from Australia.
Australie. Vient des. Il vient d'Australie.
And I am Canadian. Okay. So I think that we'll call it a day for this project. And to improve this project, you can actually add the following features. For example, here you can create a random set of words by adding some random words for each set, so that in our case we actually took all the words from the 3 sets, then we shuffled them and we displayed here. But in real Duolingo project, you actually have, for each sentence you have absolutely random words that have nothing to do with all the words in the set. And you can implement this feature. You can also implement the feature when you mouse over the word and
Japonais.
it provides you the pop-up like in real.
Japonais.
For example, you click here and it shows the tooltip. And maybe I will create a separate video that in which I show how to implement this feature. I hope you will find this video tutorial useful, and yeah, see you in the next lesson.